So it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. I'm sure that it's been exhausting for parents having kids in the house and navigating virtual schooling, and it is crazy frustrating to be stuck home non-stop. I'm sure plenty of you are stressing out about trying to schedule a grocery delivery while also trying to navigate recon missions for toilet paper. Thank God that part is over. Personally, I did pretty well initially because I thrive in high-stress situations. I guess I find it exhilarating. And I was seriously hoping that my mental state would carry me through, but deep down, I knew it wasn't gonna last. And even though I knew it, I wasn't prepared for how hard I was going to crash, how long it would last, or how hard it would be to try and pick myself back up over and over and over again. There's this thing that I just learned about called surge capacity, and it's a collection of mental and physical systems for adapting that people can draw on for short-term survival in acutely stressful situations like natural disasters. The issue is that natural disasters typically occur over a short period, and a pandemic is way different. This kind of disaster stretches out indefinitely. So when your surge capacity is depleted, you have to renew it. But what happens when it feels virtually impossible to recharge because that emergency has now become ongoing? So now let's fast forward a little bit. You're not doing so hot anymore. You're having trouble getting work done. The things that were initially fun and a novelty, like Zoom meetups with friends, they hold no interest. You're exhausted, irritable, and feeling trapped in a home that now feels like your prison. And this goes on and on and on, week after week after week. It doesn't feel like simple depression. It's depression coupled with disappointment and anger, grief, sadness, exhaustion, fear, stress, and anxiety with a total inability to concentrate. It's been going on so long, you would think we'd be used to it by now. If you really think about it, how in the world do you adjust to an ever-changing situation where the new normal is indefinite uncertainty? You are not alone. What you're experiencing is universal and deeply human. This isn't a natural disaster like an earthquake or a tornado where you can actually see the damage. The devastation is invisible and it's ongoing. If you're someone that's used to solving problems and getting stuff done, having a routine, this is really, really hard on you. You can't do any of that right now, and it leaves you feeling hopeless and helpless, doesn't it? We get all kinds of advice about focusing on self-care, but what really sucks about this pandemic is that tons of our self-care activities have been shut down or taken away. Manicures, massages, coffee dates with friends, dinner at a nice restaurant, fitness classes, swimming at a local pool. We're supposed to get creative when our motivation and creativity has totally reached rock bottom. We're facing basically ambiguous loss, a loss that's unclear and lacks any kind of resolution. In this case, it's a loss of a way of life that is multifaceted. What we used to have has just been taken away from us. Let's face it, it's a crappy time and it's hard. We don't have a lot of control over what's happening globally with COVID, but we do have control over our daily lives. We have to accept life is just different right now, but that does not mean giving up. It's time to focus on plans for the future and what's meaningful in life. Now we have to adopt a mindset that lets us choose things that are constructive instead of choosing things that torment us. I've always believed that it's not what happens to us, but how we deal with it that matters the most. I read recently the biggest protective factors for facing adversity and building resilience are social support and remaining connected to people. By gradually building into your life regular practices that promote resilience and provide a fallback when times get tough. So the areas to focus on are sleep, nutrition, exercise, meditation, self-compassion, gratitude, and connection. Do a little bit every day and it will start to add up and gain momentum. Of course, this applies to everyone, but I feel that it's especially important for older adults right now. Although all age groups are at risk for contracting COVID, older people face significantly greater risk. In addition, social isolation and loneliness increases older adults' risk of anxiety, depression, cognitive dysfunction, heart disease, and mortality. Let's face it, this pandemic has hit older adults particularly hard. If you know this kind of person, if you love this person, or if you are this person, I want you to consider asking for help. If you're fed up, if you're sick of feeling stuck and frustrated, then let this be the catalyst for change. Let us give you the tools, the knowledge, motivation, and accountability to start living life on your terms. Reach out and get started today.